I love watching this video. We were such babies. It's amazing. We didn't feel like babies then, but looking back, I think we really were.
Oh my goodness gracious, this is really crazy. Now I know that I was just super, still learning all of this. I'm listening to myself rattle on about CDBG and all this stuff, and I know good and well that I had a long way to go before I could even really explain to anybody what it is, what was my role at Franklin.
So I love that this video circles back and talks to Perry when he was a kid too. It's a long process for our firm to get to where we are 20 years later and still have the level of energy and the level of commitment to the clients. So it's pretty cool to see back in the day what it was like, right? What it was like, because sometimes memories don't do it the justice that it deserves.
The company 20 years ago had a different complexion than it does today. I didn't go to work with a suit and tie on. I went to work with khakis and a polo, and we did construction projects, and we evolved over time. And so we went from Franklin Industries to 4 years later, Franklin Associates.
On my first full day, my coworker picked me up at my house in her pickup truck and said, "Hop in, we're going to New Orleans." I said, "Okay." So we drive down to New Orleans, and I'm reading about the program that we're about to be talking about in front of all of these people and trying to learn a little bit more about what, the actual program was. And we get there and we pull up in a somewhat abandoned brick building where everyone is shouting and holding up signs and screaming at each other. And it was actually in the 9th Ward in New Orleans, and everyone was mad because they still didn't have their water turned on. And that was a year after Katrina had come through, and they still didn't have water. So that was one of those situations where we were sent there to tell them about a recovery program after Katrina that would help them potentially repair their homes. But that was not what they needed to hear right then. They needed to know where and when was their water service going to get turned back on. And so it was a great first lesson of making sure that, whatever spot you're inserted in, whatever situation, to make sure that you figure out what the people need in that room and try to help them get that.
We were spending so much time together, yes, taking care of work and all these things, but whenever we had downtime, we were spending that time with each other as well. And so with that, I started to just feel super comfortable, feeling at home, feeling like I could, talk to them about almost anything, having them as a support group as we continue to, push through and handle our deliverables.
Well, I'm proud about many things, but I'm most proud about the employees that have been able to really grow with us, make us who we are, raise their families. I was just talking to one of my employees this morning, and I asked about her nephew. I said, "How old is that young man now?" And I remember when he was born. And she said, "He's a senior in high school now." That's what I'm most proud of, is that we have stayed the course. And we have seen our Franklin family expand. We have seen our Franklin family grow. And we have still maintained our root values, which is caring for one another, taking care of one another, and in return, taking care of our clients.
In my position, I have the honor, privilege to meet everybody who comes through the door. And then we build a relationship. And I always tell them, yes, I wear an HR hat, fine, but I am so grateful that they are here with, all of their creativity and their talents and all those things that just have really just enhanced Franklin altogether. And we did a good job, when it was just a handful of us with the company. I think we did a great job. But now that we have all of these additional staff, people who care, people who are so smart and, thoughtful and just do all these wonderful things to boost the company even more. I mean, it has just been so incredible, and I am just absolutely grateful for everyone who's here.
Gosh, they have just jumped in there, and everybody does whatever needs to be done. And whether it's a project piece of work or whether it's just, jumping in and helping a coworker fix a tire in the parking lot, whatever it is, everybody jumps in and works together. And that really is all about the heart of who Franklin Associates is.
With those kind of people who care and who put forth an effort to try to see like what they can do to help out, I mean, I think that would carry any organization a long way.
While we have changed, one thing that has never changed is us trying to help people. It could be a communications job, it could be a disaster recovery job. We have always rooted ourselves in how do we find a way to help somebody? And I think that has been sort of a common thread throughout these past 20 years.
And in most of our work, that is has continued to be our sweet spot. People call us when they just don't know what to do with a particular program, how to implement it, how to create the next step. And we just jump right in, grab arms, and figure it out in collaboration with the client. That has been the hallmark of our successful reputation, honestly, our ability and our willingness to do that with our clients. And that hadn't changed a bit.
It's not about how many offices we have or how many employees we have. It's about, are we taking care of people? Are we putting people first? Are we being able to take care of our employees in a way that we can be proud of? And so that's what's most important to me.
One of the most fulfilling things about what I've seen change at Franklin over the past literally 19 years has been seeing the growth in our team. Some folks came in with a certain set of skills, a particular set of skills, and they've grown so much since then. They've just been really committed to making sure that they did the best job that they could, and their skill sets have expanded dramatically. So seeing that growth across the board, really, in most of our team, has been really, really a positive thing to see.
Mm-hmm. When I just think about my life, over the last 20 years, and thinking about how much Franklin has, that's been the one constant in my life all these years. The people here, they have been understanding, they've been flexible with me, they have given me opportunities to grow, opportunities to show them that I've grown. It has just been really, really amazing to me. I'm just so incredibly grateful. And the people that are here in this building today, I'm just overwhelmed. My heart is so full thinking about all these people who are here.
And so 20 years later, it's been a journey. It's been a journey with great people. By no means is this company all about Perry Franklin. It's about the hundreds of people that we have employed over the past 20 years.
When I think about the future, here's to another 20 years.